of my talk is status classification by lottery context. And in our life, people care about status and status concerned directly into the function. There are many examples for status classes in our life. In the past, we can find kings, queens, marquis, duke, and so on. In this life, we can, in every large corporation, we can find manager, general manager, president, vice president, and even in our life, in academic life, we have full professor, associate professor, and assistant. I think that the most well-known problem of status classes in the grades that we give here in the university or in schools, and usually we have two forms of grading. One is ABC, this is the course grading, and the fine grading is 190, 99, 98, as we give here. So there are many works about which one is better and why, and usually the final grading is better, but the reason that people use the course grading, according to Boleslavsky and Cotton, they analyze competition between school and find that school do not give out information on students, and therefore will exert more effort to increase the quality of both good and bad. Similarly, it's Potofsky and Schwartz, and they examined a top university, and they claim that it's better not to inform the grade of the students, because in this case, all the students get jobs, and if you inform the grades, and then the weaker students do not get jobs.
I have a question about the literature.
Yes.
I heard Benedict Dubé talking about
Yes.
such a thing.
I'm talking about Stepper. It's very close to my favorite. Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about it. Stepper, know Stepper very well. 15 years ago. Yes. I don't want to tell you what he did to us. Yeah, he was not kind. Yes. But it's related to his paper. Yes. Okay. So in contrast to our finding, we show that in our model, fine grades can induce more competition than coarse grades, which result in higher total effort. However, in real life, the number of status classes is not equal to the number of the players, of the agents, and usually we have finite number. So I'm focused about two classes, but most of the results will hold for more than two classes. Okay, but I focus on two classes. Okay, but as long as it's finite number, most of my results, and I could explain later when you see the utility function why all the results should hold for any finite number of classes.
For the course partition would be a single?
Single, no. Single is not possible in model. Then the utility is zero for the player if there is one. So the minimum is 2 in my model. Okay, this is the minimum number of the status classes.
So what are the two alternatives? What's fine and what's false?
Two and more. The number, yes, the number of them. Because three status classes, 4, 5, 6, yes, this is the final. Yes, okay. The maximum is the number of the players. The number of the players is fine. Okay? Yes.
So the number two refers to what?
Yes, this is the courses,
This is the cost.
yes, this is the course.
Mhm.
The final for okay. Okay. Then, after we assume that there are two status classes, we study the optimal allocation of edges between these status categories, and the assumption that edges compete in Tullock contest. Yes, and according to the Tullock contest, we decide which one in which category he belongs. I will say more about that when I show the model in details. And the agent ranked by stochastic plot and satisfaction function, which means that not necessarily the one who has the highest effort, he will be in the top class, because we have a stochastic asset function. So he has the one with the highest effort, he has the highest probability to be there, but not necessary. Okay, this is about the range analysis. Indeed. Okay, then the story about later, but the base plus they focus about the grading, about the problem of the grading, and they assume more now better than us. They assume a general form of the contest success function, but the price they pay for that, they assume that there are only two levels of effort, 0 or 1. But in our model, we have Tullock contest with the effort could be any number, yes, between 0 and infinity, and then 0, 1. They also, the goal in their paper is that all the agents will choose the highest level. So it's not exactly what we do, but we want to maximize the agent total answer. Obviously, if all the agents choose in their model the highest effort, therefore will be maximized. But the goal is that yes, that all the players will get will choose the higher effort in their model. They also they do not deal with all the problems that we deal here in this way. But this is the story. Okay, I talk about the other investigator, and then I relate between them and tell on the story. And the paper most related is Montevano et al. 2007. This is Montevano, me, and the she. And in this paper, we study the optimal allocation of status categories, and the model was all pay under incomplete information.
Information of what?
Incomplete information about the other type. Yeah, you don't know, I mean, about other players' cost function. Yes, they have cost function, and you don't know the cost function of the other players, so it's private information. In our model, it's complete information. The difference is that the uncertainty in the Mondevano method is going to be information of the model, and in our model, the uncertainty comes from the stochastic success function, which is Tullock context. So usually I don't like to do what other people did in the past. I used not to do it, yes, but here, but in the literature, by the way, almost every model which was done by old Payne, people check it by Tullock. And sometimes the results are very similar, and sometimes the results are the opposite ones. Yes? And here you will see that the results are not similar to the old Payne. So what is the story? I borrow from this model the utility function. There is the same utility function in Mondevano and all and Dubé and Tullock. And Mondevano, and in our model with Mondevano, we borrowed from the Tullock the utility function. And he was very angry about that.
Utility function of the individual? Of the individual?
Yes, yes.
But your paper came out first.
Yes, yes.
3 years.
Think about made him more angry about that. Yes?
What is so special about the video?
It's not special. I mean, I think that this is the right. I mean,
What is the utility?
Okay. I'm sure utility is very, very simple. It tells about people above you with higher status classes and people with lower status classes. So utility, all the number of people that in the lower status classes, they are positive numbers for you, yes, the number of them, and those above you, negative number. And you add these numbers, yes? I mean, how many there are above me? How many there are below me? Minus how many there are above me. This is the utility function. Yeah, simple. Yes. What is that when we started that, it's with Shenwen, and he was a student of Tullock at the same time. So it was very problematic in that case because Nicholas was angry about that he came with the pattern. But besides this fact, we didn't. Yes, there is not any similar between the only the problem of status classes. Yes, but we brought only the utility function. But yes, and this was the problem because he was angry and he was the referee of our paper, and I never read the report like he wrote to us. Yes, so it was rejected, of course. But then it was checked to JP after that, so it's not yes, but we have a big problem with anyhow. Now I borrow this utility function to my model.
Is the answer again?
No. Yeah. Okay. So this is the model. We have n agents. They are homogeneous. It means that they have the same cost function. Okay? And I assume, like in most of the paper, it's linear. I can solve it also when the cost function is not linear. Yes, but for simplicity, I don't know that the cost function is linear. Yeah? And then the agent L4. And how we decide who is the first, who is the second, who is the third, and so on. The first one is according to the Tullock context. If this is my effort, this is the sum of the effort of all the players. This is my probability to win the first, to win the first place. Assume that I got the first place, Then they exclude me, and they consider all the other efforts. People exit efforts only once, but they exit only the efforts of all the rest, and then according to Tullock contest, they decide who is the second.
I don't understand. So there is a set of people at different costs.
No, the same code, they are homogeneous. Okay, yes, but it doesn't carry the homogeneous one.
Okay.
They all exert effort. Yes. So suppose the efforts are the same, the effort is not the same. It's not the case. You decide about, according to Tullock, who is the first. Yeah.
This is the probability.
Consider that you are the first. You are the first. Yes. Then we exclude you from the group, and between all the rest players, we decide who is the second. According to the same function, but without your effort. Okay? And then who is the second, who is the third, and we rank all the players from the first till the end.
Does it matter if you remain my effort in the summation of the denominator?
Yeah.
No, let's go up to one.
If you win
Well,
in the second round, you are out.
okay.
Okay? And according to that, we decide who is the first, who is the second, who is the third, and who is the last one. Before the agent exit effort, they know the designer choose a partition from 0 to n, and is the number of players. And we have here partition of k groups. But in the top one, there are n minus late rk minus 1 players. In the lowest one, there are R1 players. In the second lowest, there are R2 minus R1 players, and so on. So we rank them, he ranked them. He decided about the number of status classes and how much will be in each class. This is the designer to do. And when the agent exert the effort, they do that. They do this ranking. And then if player I, he won the place between the I minus 1 and I is 1. Yes, they belong to the class I. Yes, if for example, don't know, the effort is in the second place, and there are at least 2 people in the top category, so he belongs to the top category. If it's the lowest one, he for sure belongs to the lowest class. But player knows this partition. Yes, the designer should declare about this partition before they play. And here is the utility of the player, as I told you. If you take the VI, the value of every player, yes, the value is not utility because he also has the effort, but his value is this is the if in class I, this is the number belonging in lower status classes, and this is the number of players in higher status. So he doesn't care how many players there are in his status category, only above and only below him. Okay, still.
So this is the number of categories, no? It's not the number of people.
No.
No,
It's size of
this is the number of players. In the category I,
It's in between.
there are I minus 1
How many
below.
people?
Below, yes, and n minus Ri above.
So it doesn't care about categories, it's just about how many.
Above, no, yes, doesn't care about does it the above or below.
When the people in his category belong.
No. It doesn't get. And this is the utility borrowed from examples in the one.
And you also pay a cost, which is an arbitrary cost function.
No,
So no, similar. But I don't think that it's play a key role here, yes, but I don't know, yes.
Why don't you think there is a keyword?
No, I don't. Yeah, no, Sela, don't. And give it a try, so I don't. But it's solvable. And I don't know how much this value is important, but the sum of the players' values is 0. Yes? If you sum all the players' values, it's 0. Yes? There are players with negative values, and players with positive. Just to mention, negative pride, I read a paper about prizes and punishment in Tullock contest, and punishment with the same value as prize is more effective than a prize punishment in Tullock contest. So if I have cost for the value, yes, and get the same value for the prize and the punishment is more efficient for the designer who wishes to maximize the total effort. So negative prizes is like punishment here, and positive prizes like prize.
What is exactly the Tullock here, the Tullock competition?
In that my chance to win is my effort
But
over the sum of all the effort. Yes.
You can view it as the players have a linear random variable with grades equals to their effort, and then they are ordered according to.
So when you just say Tullock, this is one winner.
Here,
No, not here. Here is Tullock for many.
Yeah,
But when you say Tullock in general, it means one winner.
yes, but I explained to you how we use Tullock contest for many reasons. Yes, we exclude the winner and then do it again and so on. Yes.
Well, you call this the stochastic Tullock function. What would be the non-stochastic version?
There is no static. No static is all paid. All paid then, it's not static, it's deterministic, right? The one with the highest effort, no matter how much it's higher than the effort of the others, he wins for sure. Yes? This is the all paid. Or they are under contest the same, but with noise, something like that, yes? In the literature. The Lazil and Rosen and so on, in literature, they assume also deterministic, but the one with the highest, but there is noise for the effort.
In terms of terminology, this is the spike question. You wouldn't call a model with a Tullock function and all pay often. You make this distinction.
Yeah, of course. Although, if you take a general Tullock test, right, the complexity function is x power r over sigma xi over power r, and r is connected to infinity, you get the whole pay. Only the limit, yes, when r, the power, converges to infinity, but the reason that I did it because sometimes there are significant differences between Tullock and Olper. And also here. Okay, this is the model. Here, this is the maximization problem of every player. They are homogeneous. Yes, these are the prizes, and these are the probability of winning. Yes, I assume that X is the effort of the player, but all the other players, their effort is Y with the same effort.
What
This is this is the price. This is the VI that I saw before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without the con.
First expression.
Some disappeared here, yes? Minus X, okay? Minus, yes. Minus the cost, okay?
The cost is just a constant time,
The cost minus is X, yes? X. Cost minus- Yes. I said it, in simple case, linear, so it's minus X. Sorry, it's not here, but there is minus. Yes, you're right.
and they can excel any effort. Be
Yes,
huge.
any effort. Okay. And this is the equilibrium that I calculated. This is the equilibrium of every player, same effort, where I sign HL with this term, the sum of 1 over I HM, and this is the equilibrium effort of every player. Because the symmetric, they have the same effort.
Is there a unique equilibrium in this here?
There is a unique yes. I don't prove it, but it's unique. I think it's the same. I think that the result will be the same. It's the same. That in Tullock context, you know that it's unique. Yes. No, I know. Yes. No, there are many people about the business of the name. We also have a paper with Hymenko and Amy, but we prove the business for general condition, including information. We don't know to solve Tullock information, but we know to prove that it's unique.
Not
Yeah.
just unique
Symmetry.
symmetry,
No,
it's unique among all.
yes. There is in that case, it must be symmetric and it's unique. Yeah. It's derived from other works about time. Okay, this is just an example. Just I assume three classes of status. There are 2 people in each class. This is an example, and this is the read. I calculate according to the question, and this is what I found. Nothing is there. Okay. But now I want to look about the optimal numbers of status classes in this model. Yes. And I start with example. I have 3 agents, and first I put 2 A is the top class, B is the lowest class, and if there are 1 agent in the top class A and 2 in class B, therefore it's 2/3. If there are 2 in the top in A and 1 in B, it's 5/6. And if I put everyone in different status class, I get a higher effort, which is 1. So it's better in this example if I have 3 players to decide about 3 status classes, that in each status classes will be only 1 player. And then this is example, and in the result, I just prove it in general that this is true in general, that if I have n players, the optimal is 1 is that there are n status classes. Yes? And this is the result, this is the only result that's similar to Moltevano et al. That the optimal number of classes is the same as the number of players.
If you look at the effort, the equilibrium effort is the proposition obvious from the functional form of the effort, the equilibrium effort.
It is obvious, it's not obvious.
It's not obvious.
No, it's not obvious. No.
It's linear in the out. No?
By the way, in the first version, I was a little mistake. My result was that two classes are the optimal. And I made a little mistake, and my result was that two is the optimal. Yes, so I fixed it now. This is the result.
I'm just asking to see if my intuition is correct, that the idea behind this proposition is that when you have many ranks, many groups, so you care much more about other people because you are in a single, you are a single in your group. So if you, for example, considered instead of indifference towards the people in your group, would be care about them, and it increases your utility or decreases, might be that the result was different, no?
Maybe, yeah, but look about this, yes? Think about this. I think that it's not intuitive. As I understood what you say, yes? Because you see, look about all the playing into the information. So Moldovano and me showed that if the optimal is only one price, it means that if you have only one price, you have two status classes, the one who wins and all the other. Only one price is the optimal. And for example, I showed in Tullock that it's only one punishment, and if you want that player with the incentive, then you have one price, one punishment, and that's all. Punishment is it's negative price. Yes, that you have to pay if you are the last, for example. Okay? And then the number of classes is smaller. See?
So it is not because that you.
No. Your intuition, I think that is correct somehow. Yes. Remember that we don't have the same value function. Here it's fixed. Yes. In our case, it depends on the location of the players. Yes. So I think that somehow the intuition is correct, but it's
easy to check it, by the way. If you consider the period in your group as lower than you, then maybe the result will not be that. Right?
so.
Is there a monotonicity in the number of classes, or maybe you don't know?
I didn't check it,
Maybe in the.
but I think that yes. But we show that it's one point in end. Yeah. I think it's right. Yeah.
No, fix n and decide how many.
Yeah, I think it's one point. The number of status classes.
Number?
Yeah, the higher is better for.
But it doesn't matter how you.
No,
distribute
the number of people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So to keep it constant.
Also the partition. So maybe take the optimal. Yes.
The optimal.
Take the optimal.
Okay. So although the optimal is a large number of subclasses, I assume that there are only two status classes. Okay. The main reason is that even I found that this is the optimal, but anyway, in the real life, we don't find so many classes. So I assume here that there are two, but I think that even if there are more than two, it's not so important because you look about the higher above you and below you, and if you compare two agents categories, yes, then if you exclude the players in these classes, they have the same player above them and below them. If you compare two classes, they are next to each other. So except the players in these classes, all the players above are common for these both classes, and all the players below are. All the difference between them is the people in this class. Not enough, but this is the intuition why I think most of the results will hold for any two.
This is a concave function of X.
The maximum problem?
Yes, the maximum.
Yes. The same matching Tullock quadrants, only the triangle. Yes. Same. If it's comparing Tullock quadrants, also use.
It is concave.
What is so unique in this utility function? Why to take this difference between people above you and below you instead of relating importance to your rank? No, isn't it natural to think that people would like to be ranked higher and not only about how many people below them?
Now you ask if the value of function here is logical or not logical, yes? Is it?
Yeah, no, I'm just asking. So because you said that you had a story about it.
Yeah.
So I asked, what is so unique? What?
No.
How can you justify?
No. You can assume that is very simple value function. Yes, it's very simple. And I think it's realistic that you care about who above you, yes, and you care about who below you. Yes. I think that this is true. Of course that you want to be in higher classes. Yes, but suppose that you are in the third one and there is no one above you. See that your grade in the exam is 80, but this is the highest one in the.
So not that is the one who got the 100%, right? And
Yes,
the only one.
but
Okay.
this is the highest.
I thought there was some.
But you can assume
Let's assume this is.
everything else. It is quite simple. This is why.
You don't have to consider these below you. You can consider these in your class and above you. So you give weight 1 to the former, weight 2 to the latter.
Equivalent to say what? Good.
1 to people in your class, weight 2 to people above you, and then some weights.
That's it. Yes, that. No? Okay, so.
For example, you can look at something like all that, but the distance between classes matters. If someone is above me in one class, it's different for me than if someone is above me 10 classes.
Yeah, but this will be more complicated. I can assume that. Yeah. Fine. All right.
It's not obvious. Like that.
It's not. It's not obvious.
Oh,
Huh? No, that's not. Okay.
that. Okay, I can do it here. And that's not a particular one. But this is the equilibrium with two types of categories. Yes. In the same formula, only I have two types of classes. And okay, I talked about this. This is the example if I have two in the top, in the lower class, therefore it's two thirds, and if I have two in the top class, I have 5/6. So I want to generalize this result about the location of X level among the static classes. And for this, I define delta XR, when XR is the equilibrium effort when there are R agents in the lower class. Okay? And XR plus 1 when there are R plus 1 player in the lower class. And
Just to be sure, only to be sure, the sum of utilities in both cases, when the two are in the upper and the two, in both cases, the sum of the utilities is 0. Or not? The sum of the values,
even negative.
not the sum of the value. The value function that you will define.
No,
Not?
no. Won't be 0. Well, I think that it could be, but it will be negative for the lower and positive for.
So it's another how to say it in English, זה לא חוכמה. ששם משקיעים 5 שישיות ופה משקיעים פחות. כי אתה נותן להם סם של utilities יותר גבוה.
No, I told you that the punishment is even more effective than the prices. So the absolute value is important. If you have negative here and positive here, yes, it depends. What
I'm
is called-
comparing, that's what, I'm comparing between two classes, 3 people. One time you put 2 people in A and one time 2 people in B.
Yes,
So what is the sum of the value function? You say it's when you put.
but I don't care about the sum of the value. The sum of the value is always 0.
It's always 0. That's what I wanted.
Yes, it's always 0.
Okay, it's always 0. So,
Yeah.
so it's interesting. Okay.
But you don't know. I don't think that we have intuition of what is better.
Right.
2 in the A and 1 in B and
Right. I saw.
Okay.
Okay. The sum is 0. Okay, that's what I wanted to show.
Position, which one has the negative?
Right, exactly the same.
So okay. So this is the delta XR is the difference between when you work for when there are R number in the lowest status or there are R plus 1. And the first result is that delta X1 is always negative. This means that 2 agents in the lowest one is better than 1 player in the lowest one. Yes, because it means that X2 is larger than X1 always. So for the designer, it's better that there will be more than 1 agent in the lowest one.
Just a second. Now you consider the case where the designer has to choose 2.
Yes, it decided about 2 status classes.
And that the question is where to put the.
How many there will be in the top,
Yeah.
and how many will be in the lowest one.
In the lowest, there should be a 50.
Yes, this is the first result. Of course, not 0, because if it's 0, then the value of all the player will be 0. Yes, if all of them in the top class, yes, they care about the player below, and if there are not anyone there, so the value is 0. So it's for sure at least 1 player could be there. But now I say that at least 2 players should be. Okay?
There is 4. There are at least 4 agents on.
If there are 4 agents. So I need more than 3 players. This is the condition.
You ask about the difference before.
לא, עכשיו תחזור לבן ולהסתדר. זה ממש משהו להביא פה אחד. בסדר, עכשיו אני מעלה את זה.
Yeah.
לא הבנתי ממש ברור.
You can understand what? I need that the number of players will be at least 4. And then the result is.
Maybe the number of agents without
Other than 3. the same, because the same, that delta x n minus 2 is always positive. This means that n minus 2 player in the lowest category, not lowest class, is better than n minus 1. This means that only in the top class should be at least 2 players. So till now, I show that in the lowest class should be at least 2, and in the top class should be at least 2. Why this is important? Because in our pattern in Montalbano, we show that no matter the top class, in the top class should be only 1 player. No matter what are the assumptions there in this model, it's always optimal to put only 1 player in the top satisfaction. Only 1. Yes. And meantime, I will show more than that. I show that it should be more than 1. Yes, in both status classes, but in particular in the top class. And in our model, in all the conditions, in all the assumptions in this model, only 1 player is the optimal in the top class. And here it's not true. But the result is stronger than that. Okay. Now I show that delta XR is monotonically increasing in R. This means that for small r is negative and it's become positive for high values of r. And this means that we have only one optimal allocation. Is the first r for which delta XR is larger than 0. The r that satisfies this condition is the optimal number of players in the lowest class. Here's each example.
I thought delta xi is the additional effort when you increase the number of agents
From r to r plus 1?
from R to R plus 1.
No, delta XR is the difference between the Gurion effort when there are either r players in the lowest class or r plus 1 player in the lowest class. The number is 6.
So if delta XR is positive, then this means we want to go from R to R plus 1.
Yes, it means that r players in the lowest class is better than r plus 1 in the lowest class. Positive. If delta XR is delta XR is XR minus X. Let's see the example. Yes.
Minus XR plus 1.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here's the example. Okay. So we have 4 agents and 2 categories classes. I calculate delta X at 1 and it's negative number. I calculate delta X2, it's positive number. And I calculate delta X3 is also positive number. Now, since delta X1 is negative and delta X2 is positive, it means that X2 is larger than X1 because this one, and because this one, it means that X2 is larger than X3. Yes? And therefore, the optimal allocation of players here is 2 in each status class. We have 4 players, and 2 in the top should be, and 2 in the lowest. Okay?
Maybe I take it back a bit. You said with 3 players, the best way is to have only 1 rank,
Yes.
but then they exert 0 effort.
Yeah.
They don't have any incentive to exert.
No, it's not 1 rank, it's 1 below and 2 above, right?
No.
You
Say, if we have only 2 classes, yes, or 3.
3 players.
With 3 players,
3 players and 2 classes. Yes, okay.
The optimal is for 3 classes, right?
The optimal is 3 classes, but now we assume that there are only 2 classes. Okay,
Oh, so maybe I thought that the optimal was to get only one. class.
No.
One page is.
one class is here.
But it is generally true. Yeah, but for any, so what
The
the
optimal one is the number of classes is equal to the number of
about 3 players.
about 3 players.
Yeah.
The optimal is 3 classes.
But it is true for any number of players.
Yes.
You have n the optimal.
I think what we meant is
Yes,
that
exactly.
with 3 players, the optimal is 1 above and 2 below, or vice versa. Right. With 3 players. 3 players, 2 categories.
Yes,
The optimal is,
the optimal is 2 in A and 1 in B.
okay, and now you say that there are at least 4 players, and you have a result for that.
Yes.
So that's the confusion, I think.
Yeah, I don't, I remember an example with 3 players.
Yes.
There's nothing about the number 3. What's special?
Nothing special about 3, no, there's nothing special about 3. I don't know what is special. I gave example of if you have 2 classes and 3 players. I checked two possible situations. 2 in A and 1 in B, and 2 in B and 1 in A. And in the example, I show that 2 in A and 1 in B is better than 2 in B and 1 in A. Yeah. Then I will generalize this. Okay? But this is the example that we have 1 equilibrium here. Okay. Now I show that because of that n is even, but I can also do also for n is not even, and I show that delta x n over 2, this is the middle of the n, it's always also positive. It's positive, it means that the number delta x n2 xn2 is larger than xn2 plus 1. So it means that the maximum number of players in the lowest class is n over 2. Yes, this is the maximum. Even more, because I don't say about delta x n over 2 minus 1, but in general, for delta x n over 2, yes, I can say that this is always larger. This means that the number in the top class is larger or equal to the number in the lower class. Yes, I can say that in the top class should be a larger number than in the lowest class. And usually we see the opposite. We think that this is the top class, it's exclusive maybe, and then it should be less player, like in the result of Moldovano in 2007, which was only 1. And I show here that the number there should be larger than in the lower class. Not just more than 1, but it should be a larger number than in the lower class.
Could you solve, could you get all this result by looking at the continuous version of the equilibrium effort with the variable R, the concave function, and then look at the
Continuous function, what is version?
I mean the continuous version of the No. Look at R, which is the function of R. In your case, R is an integer, but you have the harmonic series there. There must be some extension of that. So look at some continuous function which coincides with your function at the integers. And then look at the critical function.
You can do it. I prefer usually to assume that the number of players is finite.
No, it's not the number.
Then the number of fun. You want that the R will be continuous.
Yeah, but
If R is continuous, it means that you have infinite number of players.
that's argument of the proof.
R.
If you want to look at this, you have a function of R, and you have a R residue. You can just view it as the real number. Take the same function, same expression,
Okay.
look at it as a function of R, and then you look at
The optimal R.
at the optimal.
It should be true for the final case that the definition don't not you can learn.
But that's the bigger.
But it's not, maybe if I could not find it, but here it's not hard to find the optimal R. Yeah. I show how can I find it. Okay. And now, what I assume now, what happens if I add new players to the contest? Okay? In regular contest, it's very simple. The prizes are fixed, and in most of the contest form that I know, if you add contestant, you have players, then the total effort increases. Yes, if you add. Here, it's more complicated because when you add new players, you change the prices of all the others. Yes, so it's not clear what happens here, especially if you have more than two. In two, it's quite simple. Why it's simple? The first result says that if you add for the lowest one, you increase the total effort. It usually is very, very simple. If you add players for the lowest class, you don't change their values. You just increase the values of the players in the top class. Yes, because now they have another player in the lowest one. So the value of the players for some was increased, and for some of them it's the same, but now we have more players. So in general, we increase the price of the players, and we have more players. Then it's quite obvious that the total effort will be higher. And the same intuition holds for the highest category. When you add someone there, again, yes, you increase the values, no, you decrease the value of the players in the lowest type. But the prices are negative. When you decrease them, you increase the absolute value of the prices. And the punishments are stronger for these players. And you then change the prices of the players in the top class. Also, in that case, to increase player to the top class increases the total effort. This was not the result.
What does it change the
Yeah.
What about the average?
The effort?
The average.
The average effort?
Yes.
They all have the same effort, so the average is also increased.
No, increasing when you increase the number of agents. You can put the N and then plus one.
Oh, the average effort. Yes, you're right. I don't know. Usually, in one case, no. Okay, the intuition in Tullock that the average decrease, but the total increases. Yes, if you have it. I didn't check here. Here I'm not sure because in contrast to the regular contest, the values also were increased of the players. Yes, the prices are not fixed now. So if you have players, I'm not sure that like in the regular contest, the average decreases. I can check it, yes, but the total increases.
Your
Yes.
intuition would suggest that the average will increase.
Yes, I thought the average will increase. This is my intuition. Did I check it, but I agree. Yes. So the prices now are larger, but still but there is more competition, so it's not for sure, yes. But the intuition is that the average will be.
The price always end up to zero.
The price?
The price and the
Yeah,
negative.
the sum of the price.
No, the incentive to go.
No, but if you add players and you compare it to the previous one, yes, prices are,
The difference between
Yeah.
the price and the punishment.
yeah. But the sum will always be away. Okay. So now, what we do is that we add monetary prices. Till now, we had only value for the status. Okay? So now, I add monetary prices, and I call them WK, W1, and I assume that for only that, the only assumption is that for lower class, the monetary price is lower than for higher one. Yes, the price for the top class is larger than the price for the monetary price from the lower one.
The price per class.
Per everyone in this class, yes, there is also monetary price, yes, yes.
It's not just the number of classes of players below you and above you.
No, yes.
In addition, you get some
Monetary price. You can see it here. This is the value from status before, but WI now is the monetary price. In addition, yes, monetary price. Okay?
Why does it have to be in addition? Can you just have all this formula in one number in WI?
Only as a function of only WI, no. I wanted also the status will be important. I can do all.
But you can
If it's only
calculate everything.
if it's only WI, it's regular kind of contest, it's several prices. If it's only WI, without the status class, yes, so it's like a kind of contest with several prices. Some of them are similar and some of them are different. Yes? I know to solve it. I just want to show what is the effect of these prices if they are also monetary. Why I do it? Because in my work in Montevano, all the results were changed when we see these prices. In that paper, we show that if you add such monetary prices, for example, the optimal number of status classes becomes 2 now. Was the number equal to the number of players?
See the goal of the designer. What is now the goal of the designer?
Well, the goal of the designer is to maximize the total effort all the time. In the same,
The designer doesn't care what WI.
no, it doesn't care. Yes.
And now I don't understand why you can't have all this expression call it WI.
As a function of WI,
You just you take the RI minus 1 and all this expression, call it WI. You can have the right hand side of this equation can become any number if you allow any WI. Can
Yeah, but-
any number.
but here I get it constantly. Yes, of course. To this, I call all these WI,
Yeah, the entire.
but then it's again the price depends only on the status below. Now I want to add something else. Sometimes you have salary, for example, or some have it's constant.
It is.
And that depends on the strategy, so you.
No, doesn't depend,
On the effort that they make.
Yeah, it depends about the status class, but for every status class, we have also a fixed price for every status class.
Why is the degree of freedom of the design? The designer can say what the RIs are, and the WIs are given. The designer.
WIs are given. Yeah, WI is given. Okay? No, because if you want to back, I will choose WI infinite, yes, then the effort will be infinite. Yes? No, it's like in the contract, because usually.
You said that the sum of WIs should be F. Double.
Okay. Yes. No, I just want, that is finite. This is the limit, yes.
But the WIs are given.
They are given, yeah. Usually in contest, the prices are given. This is like, because these prices are given. Yes.
But then the budget is not fixed, right? Because I can put many
No.
agents in the highest category and then I say,
There is no budget, the prices are given. All the solution that there's is the finite, is finite. That's all. I don't care what is the sum of these prices. That should be a finite number. No, the standing is that it's not in
For the agents.
yes, if I pay WI for each one in the class, then maybe I pay a lot because there are many people in this class.
No, but the designer doesn't care about how much. The designer doesn't.
That's what I'm asking, whether he has some.
the prices are, he doesn't decide about the prices. The prices are given,
Yes.
okay?
But my claim is that if the prices are given and I can choose how many dishes in each category, then I may break the budget. Any budget constraint if I had one.
No, so our result will be for every. What I showed is for every WI. Only the constraint is that the W in the top status is larger than the W in the lower.
Yes, I understand, but what I'm saying is, what I find a bit weird is that I may design a contest in which I pay a lot because I put many people in the highest class.
But the assumption is that the designer doesn't pay the.
But I can choose the numbers of the other, I can choose how many in each class.
Monetary.
What is
Because. No.
The result, also in our paper with Montalbano, the result do not depend on the exact value of these prices. In that paper, we showed that the optimal, when you add prices, the optimal number. Okay, maybe there is some. I don't know. The optimal number becomes 2. Here, I don't care about the number. The exact value of the prices does not change my result. Because will be quite modest, yes, but the exact value, if you want to take very high price to the first and very low to the second, it won't change my result.
I think the controversy would be avoided if you just drop monetary. These are prices, these are still good prices. This is your reward for being in class I.
Yes. This is the definition. This is the reward for being in class. Yes. This is the value. This is the reward. Yes. In contest, usually we ask what is the optimal price location. But if we don't ask this question, we assume that the prices are fixed. And we usually assume that not the designer paid this price. Suppose that you can assume that can pay this price. Okay. But I showed here And the optimal number in class A, when there are other monetary prices, because it's larger, not because the one is always larger than or equal to the optimal number of agents in class A without monetary. Okay? More than that. Also, there is I also saw that the number of players in each category should be larger than one. And I also show that the number in the top class is still larger than in the lower class.
Also, you assume the WA is greater than.
Yes. This is the constraint. Not the value, but class is larger.
But is it true also if the sum of W's is 0? So you add W's, you add motivations, and therefore the Excel more therefore. But you add money, so of course you will increase.
You're asking if W could be negative.
I mean, if you consider the case in which W's sum to 0, this is the serious question, because now
I don't think so. I mean, if you just add a constant growth,
it's not one of them, only to be, only to add.
you want to make them the sum 0.
Of course, but if you added utility,
לא סכום על ה-I, סכום על שחקנים.
נכון, אבל זה לא רלוונטי לסוג השחקנים, כי מראש אין בריחה.
אני מסכים, אבל I'm only saying that the result is very intuitive because you increase the utility of the winners.
I can check it.
So people would like to excel.
I don't believe that it's that there is difference, but I can check it. I didn't check it, I guess, but I can check it if the sum is there.
So I mean,
But how can it be if I give a very large prize for me in class A, then how can it be that
Wow.
yes, I mean if the price if the price is very large, the monetary price, then I may ignore the classes right?
No. You never wanted class B will be only C. So then there are no price from status, yes? So this is what you say. If the price for class A is very large, so more players will be in class A. Okay, yes?
But I will still have at least 2 in class B.
At least in class B, yes. Only. Yes. Okay. This is the conclusion. So, if I compare the result of Moldovano and us, the results are different, except the one that the optimal number of status classes, except that all the results are different between models. I didn't say before, when we add one player in Moldovano, they show that it's optimal. They can optimal only to add to the lowest one. They can give the other, it's not so sure. Here, it's also different. So all our results are different in that of Moldovano 2007, and except the optimal one. Okay. This is the dot that I already showed you. So the comparison indicates that the kind of function has a key role on the results about status classification by contrast. And the main method of this paper is that the top status category should not be exclusive. If the goal is to maximize the energy output, there is no reason to limit the number. According to our result, there is no reason to limit the number of agents in the top status category to only one agent or only excluded agents. That's all.
Suppose I have a monetary price and nothing else. So I give out, I choose how many to give out. A fixed W1, let's say W2. So I just choose how many prizes. What would be my optimal choice?
Of W1,
No, W1 is given to me, but then I have to choose as in your.
what is the optimal
As
value?
in the model of that, but there's no payoff for being in a class. It's just payoff. It's just either getting the prize, meaning I'm in class A, and I get W1
Without status,
without status exactly.
only price.
Only prize.
So we know if you give only one prize,
No, I give many prizes. I choose how many to give.
one,
The optimum is to give just one.
yes.
I see.
This is the data from the one with me from 2001. We thought it's all pay, but also in Tullock there is the same result from 1996.
And it has nothing to do with my budgets.
Yes.
Okay.
It's optimal to give only one prize. If the cost is linear. Yes, and we show that in our all pay, if the cost is convex, yes, it's sufficiently convex, then the result is not true anymore. Okay, there more than one price might be optimal.